A very good afternoon to you, our viewers. It's another wonderful edition, but a brand new beginning to 2025 on the round table. My name is Shegun Odunayo. I mean, it's good to have you, our viewers, here with us, rocking with us as usual on your favorite show that talks about the socio-political activities of the Nigerian people and the Nigerian states. As usual, we have three lovely topics, trending political topics, hitting up the polity and that are affecting the Nigerian people, and we bring this to you every blessed Thursday at this time. We have two special guests in the house. They will be helping us analyze the topics that we have brought before you today. I have to my right one of our bosses in-house. I think it's about his second or third time on the show. Yes, on this show, and of course the first one for the year without a doubt, Mr. Chukwudi Akasike, and he's going to be doing great analysis for us this lovely day. And to my left is a man that you're familiar with. He's back with the tie. And this episode, like last week, which was the last for the year, but this is the first for the year, and he's a new man. I guess he is.
It's a pleasure.
I think he's done in a new airport as well, Mr. Adekunle Aliu. Together, we'll be analyzing these topics, and I'll be bringing an unbiased approach and analysis to you all. We'll be starting this day with what the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said in his New Year message to Nigerians. He has promised to reduce inflation to 15%, and he has also promised massive food production. Let me start from my right. The president has, come again. He had to address the country, of course, and give us his New Year's message. And he's telling us two things. Not two things, but two things that we are dealing with here this morning. He has promised to mass produce food because food was a major problem for Nigerians last year. After some of his policies that came on board, food became really expensive. This time around, he's promising to produce food, even though the opposition has said we've had enough of all this analysis and what have you when it comes to talking. We want to see the effects positively affecting the Nigerian people and their lives.
What I will say here is that yes, Tinubu has promised massive food production, but the Tinubu administration must be intentional about it, because there are factors, many of them, both seen and unseen, that will come out as a brick wall to make this promise unfulfilled. The promise will go unfulfilled like some other promise he made in the past. One, insecurity. You find if you say you want to embark on mass food production, how? In the north, where their mainstay is agriculture, they have security issues. And the federal government, remember, immediately the current government came on board, it embarked on the cultivation of 500,000 hectares of land. A very good, what would I call it, idea, a very good move. But I want to tell you that 500,000 hectares of land has not been or have not been cultivated because of insecurity. Not all of them. You look, if you can check the video online, you will see where farmers are cultivating their land with soldiers at their backs, watching over them. That is not the kind of country where you'll be talking of mass production of food. It cannot work.
But it can work. Why would you think that? If you look at the landmass of the country and you look at the percentage of those where we have this insecurity, it's not as much as if it's taken all over our land. We still have land in the Igbos, in the southeast, and also in the southwest. So we don't only use that side of those insecurities to judge the whole nation.
But it looks
if you look at the report today, sorry to cut you. The Kwara State governor just said something today now.
Yes.
He said that when they will be moving with the president to go visiting all states, that they will see the massive work in agriculture that they have done. So the Kwara State governor is the chairman of the NGF, Nigerian Governors Forum. So he can speak to that. And look, we are working on it. Now, as much as we will have issues, but we won't say that it's not possible. It is possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me.
I think you will land. Then I'll come to you on two major things.
I'm not finished.
Yeah.
We have about 5 states
Yes.
that are pilot states for this for this food.
Production.
Go to these pilot states: Katsina, Niger, Sokoto, and 2 other states. These states are fighting insecurity. How will you embark on massive production of food when militants, terrorists are everywhere? So when you say it is possible, I'm using these 500,000 hectares of land. It has not worked. There's another factor. And that factor is the fact that our Naira is diminishing in value. And that makes farmers take their product to...
The president mentioned it yesterday.
Take their product to nearby countries so that they will get a stronger CFA francs. So all these promises, if it works, it will be a surprise to me. I don't want to be shocked. That is why I don't believe it will work.
Okay, let me stick with you before I even go to 15% and we talk about inflation.
Yes.
Many analysts, many analysts have come out to say, okay, we know we are challenged when it comes to production because of insecurity, which we are trying to solve. It won't be solved in a day. Yeah. Why is the president and his team not looking at the option of opening borders? What's your opinion about that? Because it looks like food is a major problem. The farmers from within are selling at more expensive rates than even those that are importing illegally. Yes. So what can now be the... I mean, there's something wrong somewhere. Why don't we open the borders and make it legal?
I will not blame the current administration fully, because opening the borders means that you are stifling the farmers within. So if you open the borders like that, though when you say open borders, most of the borders are already open because of we have
do illegally.
Yes, we have porous borders. Whatever you produce here, somehow, somewhere, you find it goes out illegally. So when they say porous, but the president, food is first thing that will make a man survive. The president, if it is opening the borders, should do that first. You should not look at the farmers first. We need to be okay, because Nigerian farmers as it is, hold on, Nigeria, the number of Nigerian farmers as it is, they are concentrated in the north. They cannot feed 200 million Nigerians.
Wow. All right, since you've been itching to come now, you are saying that we can diversify, go to other states, use other places.
We've been using it.
Are we not supposed to
yes, the
root cause, like he said, is insecurity? Are we not supposed to say, let's take
even in the days of Baba Obasanjo, we've been always talking about structural adjustment program, SAP, Operation Feed the Nation. So it has been every government call to want to feed its people. So it's not today, it's not yesterday. So what we're saying now that, okay, let's expand, let's do more. Let's do mechanized farming. We are bringing in machines and industrial machines to do this farming for us. So if you can expand that, we can achieve it. See, there is nothing impossible. Even with the little skirmish we have in the north and so on, we can still do. Do we have that in the southeast? Do we have that here in the southwest? No, we do not. So we still have massive expanse of land that we can use to cultivate this land. These governments are working. The thing is that we just want to see results. We are tired of statements, talks. Yeah, the president had a good speech yesterday. Good. But what Nigerians want now is to see results. We want to see the food.
That's where we are going. How do we get results when it looks like what we are getting so far has been all talk?
So in all ramifications, we need to go into mechanized farming. Large scale production. We can't be doing those things we were doing, those subsistence farming, peasant farming. We can't be doing it to feed this large population any longer. We need to go. See, have you heard of a yam plantation? I've never heard of it, but maybe they are in Benue. But we're seeing massive. A lot of it. How would you like to see your tomato well packed in a carton, not the one you buy that is watery and is going bad? That's what I'm saying. We need to increase our capacity of production, move away from peasant farming to what? Mechanized farming, where the farmer can boldly go and say, I want to buy a tractor myself, not wait for government to buy the tractor for him. But he can buy, telling the world, look, I am making profit from this. So then government will now be what? The off-taker. Look at what was happening to Lake Rice when Fashola and the other governor were there. They were bringing rice from Yobe State
I think that was Ambody.
Yeah. So massive collaboration between states for
Lagos and Katsina.
That's a beautiful one.
Katsina.
That's a beautiful one. So what are we doing? That's where I see us. We can do that. We can enlarge our coast by going to mechanism. I mean, the president just signed a deal with some companies in Brazil. For what purpose? This same agricultural issue, this same feeding Nigerian issue. So it's possible.
Okay,
the small problem we have are limited. We can overcome them with the military fighting insurgency and banditry. We can overcome them. With time we will take them off.
Okay, but now that it is clear that we have shortage of food.
Yeah.
Many homes don't have this food because they cannot afford them right now, and many persons, people can virtually not eat one. I mean, one. It's I don't even know what formation we are using right now.
Survival formation.
I don't know.
Whatever works for you.
Why in the interim?
Yeah.
Now the president's speech for food is a good one.
Yeah.
But it looks like something that is going to do 2, 3, 4, 5 year plan. In the interim, in 6 months, what can be done?
So, in the interim means whatever the president is saying, do we expect the president to go to the farm?
No.
So, it is we, the people, that will say, okay, let's take the bull by the horn, is encouraging us to farm. So, we also have to get up and get it going. Let's be determined. Let's want to feed ourselves. Nobody's going to feed us. No country will feed you. Any country who is bringing food to you is going to diminish you. Because they is going to close its border, you are going to suffer. So we need to take the bull by the horn and go to the farm. Those who are supposed to do that farming should, and our boys are doing well. See, last year I met a boy who was telling me he was registering himself in every state as a citizen of the state so that he can get loan to go and farm. A lot of people are trying their very best to feed the country. I learned the other day one road construction company has a cashew farm.
Why is it that food produced by our farmers internally is more expensive than what we have from even the guys that are bringing from outside?
So this is it. When you're talking about Indonesia is going to bring rice into your country, you know how long their rice has stayed in their silos? You have 10 years in their silos. That's their excess. So that's the one they want to throw away. They are bringing into your own country at a very cheap rate because they want to sell it. You don't blame them. They have excess. So they want the market. So they will bring it to your country in whatever way, and they will encourage people to come and take it in whatever way they can. That's why you're seeing them still smuggling it into the country despite all government effort to stop it. So, but if you want to grow your own country produce, you have to stop the border. Grow your own. Today, our farmers are even exporting tomato, bell pepper to the US, to UK. We're trying. There are efforts. It's just that it is not enough. And how to get that?
I think I will now continue on the 15% inflation.
Okay, I just want to.
Okay, you wanted. Oh, okay,
okay. Since we have talked about putting the cart before the horse, which is a very wrong thing. We are putting the cart before the horse. You don't want to look at insecurity. You don't want to secure the farmers. You think, hold on, you think you can.
Are we not securing the farmers, sir?
You think we know how many farmers are
the
numbers are increasing. Just hold on.
Now,
just hold on. You see, when you put the cart before the horse and you. The government that is talking about food production, has the Ministry of Agriculture talked about hybrid product seedlings?
Of course.
Where do we see them?
No, the thing is we stay at home and do
talking with that action.
We like our
lip service.
Even as a people,
we are talking with that action.
Even as a people,
they've gone to sleep after the promise. They've gone to sleep. You don't know that this thing is like the way we work here. If you go to sleep, punch will not come out. The paper will not come out. But if you follow instructions the way it should be done,
keep working.
Now, if you tell the administration, okay, you want massive food production, if you tell them to bring a plan, to show you a plan they have, you won't see anything on the ground. You won't see anything.
So,
for us to enjoy massive development, government must be involved. And government involvement is just not talking. So, you must act.
You must act. So
I've told you the factor. Insecurity is the brick wall
of Niger State. Last year, brought in tractors for this same process. So we know that government is working. I think we should listen. What we should ask for is results.
Okay.
These guys are doing this, but there is no result. I still ask myself, why did Lagos State stop their partnership with Kebbi State in bringing those lake rice? I question myself also the Christmas. I was expecting to see Kebbi State. I was expecting that rice to come, but that rice didn't come. So what happened? What's the problem? There was an agreement. Even then, we still have serious Boko Haram issue then, and they were still bringing this right. So what's the problem?
Okay, I think we should.
The army also is also fighting. Yeah. You can imagine them tackling what led to the what led to the problem in Sokoto State and the accidental attack. Is it not fighting the same? So we should know that the government is doing these things, but we want results. We want it to come to an end so that we can have a peaceful Nigeria.
Okay, when the president had the media chat recently,
yes.
The opposition also came out to say the president is talking, but we are not seeing evidence.
Yeah.
That is what Nigerians need right now. The president has equally promised that inflation will be cut down. His plan is to cut down inflation to 15%. And then the question is how? What is the formula that you are going to use? What are you going to put on the table? What is the plan? 12 months is a very short time because before we know it now, 2025 is done. 2024 started and is over like a candle. Do you agree that there should be a pattern, there should be a plan visible to Nigerians on ground, or you think somehow it's going to be done?
Yeah, you know, there is no magic about economic development. There must be a plan. You must see it step by step. If something is going to happen, the sure steps taken by any government will tell you that result is coming. It's not just talking. When you say you want to reduce inflation from 34% to 15%, when the country is not producing, we are not producing. In fact, I think we should be. We are engaged in massive consuming. We consume anything that comes that is foreign.
Everything we imported.
So everything. So there is no way. And when we do that, we import so much. We use dollar to bring these things in.
They're under pressure.
And that is why the pressure will be on the dollar. And this inflation, there is a way it affects inflation. There is a way it affects inflation. If you are consuming, bringing in this thing so much, it affects inflation. And government policy too has not helped the Naira to appreciate. Though they will tell you they are doing this, they are doing that. It has not helped it. We must produce. There must be an enabling environment for manufacturers to produce, package well, and export. We can't be 200 million people and we are consuming everything. Yes.
Why can't Nigerian yam?
So that is it. So that is the problem.
And we have the best yam in Africa.
We must be intentional about this. The government must be intentional. For instance, if a company MD says this is what we want to achieve, you will see the workers moving towards achieving this thing. But the president has spoken. Has the ministries, agencies that are involved made any move? If you don't make any move, your life will not improve. That is it.
Just writing 2025 goals.
Yeah, that is
no
it.
Go.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
All right. I told you earlier that we have some of the very best brains here, eggheads, who are going to attack these topics and present an unbiased analysis of the whole thing. And I think they are doing justice to that. Very quickly, we'll move on to the next topic. And we are going to tell you something similar to what we did the first time, in the first topic. But we are talking specifically now about the Naira. Last year, if there was one man in government who was practically releasing press releases almost every blessed 2 weeks, every week. At some point, you get 2 in a day. It was from the CBN governor, Mr. Olayemi Cardozo. And that was him trying to tame the falling Naira. Without a doubt, you could see that himself and his team were doing practically almost everything to make things work after the policy of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in ensuring that subsidy in Forex was going to be a thing of the past. But despite the efforts of the CBN governor and his team and the government, the Naira tumbled 41%. And that is why $1 to a Naira now is about 1,005, 16, 17, depending on the time you even check it. Sometimes it goes higher as 1,750, 1,720, coming from, where we used to come from in the past. Now we'll be talking about this. I think I'll be starting this time around from Mr. Liu. The Naira tumbled really badly. The president has said that his plan for 2025 is for it to come from 1,700 down to 1,500 Naira. So the highest the government is expecting is a 200 naira reduction. So it looks like we are never going back anytime soon to where we used to come from.
So as much as I'm not a money expert, I will just say that I will go back the way what he was saying before now, is that we need to become a producing nation. Our consumption is heavily killing the Naira. It is not about the policy they present. They are trying their very best. But since they've liberalized that market, they've made it one single market.
There was no subsidy again on the dollar.
Why should you subsidize the dollar for somebody who's going to school? Why should you subsidize the dollar for somebody who is going to have fun somewhere outside the country? Why should you subsidize the dollar for somebody who's going for pilgrimage? It's wrong. So you don't need to subsidize the dollar. What you need to do is go to the market. But why going to the market? We too at home must look. Why can't we make our own country a pilgrimage place? Where people will come and say, okay, let them come to the Mecca here in Nigeria and celebrate and do and spend their money. Like what's the Dirty December going to be doing? You see a lot of people coming from all over the world to celebrate. So let's do that. So in that way, we are taking pressure off the Naira. But when we are buying so much from other countries, we are putting pressures on our own currency. You can imagine the government is importing maize, importing rice, importing cashew, importing groundnut, and so on. These things are wrong. So we can only get the Naira to fight the dollar when we become a producing nation. So we need to start producing virtually at least 40% of the things we consume, we import.
Okay. Naira, I mean, it was now a little over 900 in the year 2023.
Yes.
And then by 2024, it was 1530 something upwards.
Yes.
And the difference is enough to either build or destroy an economy.
Yes.
Look at the gap. Look at the number of, the percentage. It's too high. Now, what can we say about the fact that at some point, even the CBN had to tame the Naira because it was some people were already saying it was going to get to 2,000.
Yes.
At some point,
yes.
I think we got to 19.
Yes.
Some very bad days like that. It was
Yes.
We saw a lot in 2024.
Yeah.
Now, going forward, what can be done?
The equation you asked now, takes us back to the need for us to balance our there's something they call balance of I don't know what that is.
Balance of trade. Or
balance of trade.
Yeah.
When you keep on bringing in
and you don't take out.
And you don't take out, it becomes a problem. This thing has a way of affecting the strength of the Naira. And my fear is that when you, at the point, people were saying government is deliberately devaluing the Naira, and when you devalue the Naira, I tell you, devaluation of your currency is equal to devaluation of your citizens. Because you make them, when the Naira is weak, an average Nigerian is weak. Because you cannot move forward with a very weak Naira. So, policies that has been churned out by government are not well thought out. They are not well thought out policies. It's just trial by error. Tumbom. Let's see how it will go. And that is not how a country should be run. We need something that is well planned. That this is, of course, the very first day the president came in, he said subsidy is gone, without looking at the pros and cons. And this is what we have been battling since that time.
From that first day.
What I see here is you broke a pot and you start patching it. A well-made pot is better than the patched pot, because the patched pot at a point will be leaking, and that is what we are suffering now. The Naira cannot be strong when we have not put some we have not taken some economic steps that will make the Naira strong. Because if the Naira is not strong, all these ones that are talking about food, this and it will not work. We need a strong Naira to make even your citizens strong. Outside, when you go abroad, I learned that they even look at you as somebody that is should not be.
We have value, please.
We have value.
We have value.
We have value. But when they say Nigeria,
they are here for December. That's why they are coming for
entertainment.
So we are building.
Good. So entertainment.
We cannot throw away our
currency what we are doing.
Of what we are going through.
But our currency does not speak well about us. How come CFA franc is now stronger than Naira?
A million Naira is 2.71.
Do you know that when I went to Sokoto, I have one auntie that takes me to Niger to buy rice with Naira. When they see our Naira,
Yeah.
they're always happy.
Yeah.
And they sell things for us cheap.
School fees at some point.
Yes,
in Benin.
but now we are now we're laughing stock. That is the fact. We can't run away from it. But the government, I pray, should have what it takes
to bring
back the Naira to what it used to be.
I think I'll come to you now. You know, without a doubt, we all know the state of our Naira right now, and it's sad. Now let's analyze what the CBN did last year, 2024. No doubt about the fact that he was a busy man talking about the CBN governor. But at the end of the day, after all has been said and done, do you think all the policies, all the changes, all the, you know, the numerous things that were done, do you think there was anything productive out of it?
The productivity of it is that now government have enough money. Why do I say that? When we sell our crude, we sell in dollar, so we reap Naira. So when we do that exchange, what do we have? More money at our beck and call. But you see, as much as that is what it is, okay, when you now bring it up to want to spend, you find out that it becomes kind of not as valued as you think, because you're going to spend more money because of the inflation. Government is making more money, no doubt about it. But as making that more money, is that more money really impacting the people? That's where we're on another argument for another day. So
is it?
Government is making more money. No, so that's one advantage.
Impacting the people? Is it trickling down?
You get your new minimum wage, 70,000 naira. So you are going to win.
You
need those money
that
for.
has not been paid.
That has not paid.
You need those money. No, you're going to get. We're going to pay you arrears. Don't worry. When we start, labor will collect its arrears. Take it or leave it. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
But again, so you need more money for projects. So it's going to impact in a way. It's going to, because the government now see that they have more money. But I haven't said that it is the value of the money that we're looking at. That's what we're crying. That look, our currency doesn't have value in the face of CFAs, and it's wrong. I remember those days.
A million CFA was 2.71 million naira.
We need to make it in West Africa, in Africa. The Naira should be top. We want the Naira to be great. So all our cry is that look, not about making money. Let's make the Naira great again. Yeah. Let people come to the country and say, well, we want the Naira, we want the Naira. And it is, that's why I buy what is in that. Look, we have to make it intentional. All the policy they've made for me so far is that we want to make more money, because when we sell crude, we get more money. So, but again, the technology you need to impact some of these projects you're going to do, you are still going to take your Naira out to buy this technology. So if I look at it here and there, I say, no, like you are on the same spot. You have not done anything.
Let me come a little bit. When he is okay with the fact that we make more money from crude, that is not enough. We are more than 200 million people. Yeah. And when you make money from only crude, it's not enough for you. That is why the lip service in the area of, what will I call it, diversification is worrisome.
The speaker was saying this recently, the current Tajuddin Abbas was equally saying the same thing, that we can't rely on just
crude oil, and we are happy about it. We should not be happy about making more money only from crude. 200 people, do you know what we can produce? We have a lot that we can do. So government should create that enabling environment to diversify the economy, so that Nigerians too can be part of the development of the country. We can't leave it for government alone. Because if you leave it for government alone, it won't work. Most government officials are there for what they can get, not for national development. And that is why patriotism is sinking into the NADE. We don't even have it as it is. So when you talk about development, there should be an enabling environment for Nigerians to be part of it. Not Nigerians are not part of it, and you are telling us this will happen here. How will it happen when Nigerians are not part of it? If you rely on the minister, what does the minister do? When he comes or say something and nothing happens, the ministers are supposed to be executing policies. They are not doing of the president. They are not doing it.
They have to execute the policies.
The president asked that question and said, which of his ministers, which of them wasn't performing, and no name was mentioned. So I mean, even now, many persons have just come out to criticize that question without necessarily breaking down how so person is not functioning, or as he should or as she should, and all that. So now. I'm coming to the statement of the president during the media chat, and even during this new year, which, talking about the Naira, was that the plan was for it to come down conveniently to 1,500. despite the fact that there was black market sales was said to have been tried to reduce, eradicated at some point.
Yes.
But they are still there. And they are still selling at about 100 naira, 150 naira higher. It's 150 with the government is about 1,600, 1,660 out there. So after the whole thing that was done, looks like not much has been done at the end of the day. Yeah. But is there a possibility that will be hit during that 1,005 even on the black market by the end of this year? 2020?
Let me tell you something. For us, we must be disciplined fiscally. I learned that when they pay, or I call it, this monthly allocation to states, the governors use and pack dollars. That is sabotage to our national
But
economy.
no governor has been called. Nothing has been done.
Nothing has been done. That is why if the president means well for us, you see some people sabotaging that with just mere changing big amount of naira to dollars. It kills the economy. It kills the... Why will somebody who is supposed to look after a state take enormous naira, amount of naira, change it to dollar? He goes about spending dollar. There should be a law stopping Nigerians from even spending dollar
within the country.
Within the country,
outside, but within the country.
Now, dollar is as if dollar is now our legal tender. Legal tender.
In fact, reports have it that there are some house rents that are being paid in dollars. School fees, there are some school fees for some schools that are being paid in dollars.
Government should stop that forthwith.
Perhaps there are even some supermarkets in Nigeria that you spend dollars.
It is reducing our sovereignty. It is reducing our strength as a country. It is show of disrespect. It is show of arrogance. Why will you... Do we spend naira there in America?
Nobody spends naira outside.
So that is it. So let us be disciplined. And the people who are culprits are these politicians. They get this dollar, the way they get it from... It's a government thing, easily. The way they even brag about it. Government should make effort to see that this thing reduces or even stamp it out. I don't want to see a government official brandishing dollars. No. It's not good.
All right. We just have to. I liked that. There was a tumble, a big one, not 5%, not 10%, not 15%, not 20%, as big as over 40%.
It was a free fall.
Yes, it was. It was a free fall in what the naira used to be in 2023 and what the naira was in 2024. We are just hoping and praying. I mean, people say all we do is pray, but we are hoping that similar doesn't happen in the year 2025. Very quickly, we move on to the last topic for the day, and this time around we're going to be talking about another report of 2024, but this time as it concerns women and as it concerns gender violence and the number of women that were affected in Nigeria in the year 2024. And the report is really worrisome. About 133 women and girls were killed in gender-based violence situations. For those to break it down, saying that there are women, perhaps married, perhaps dating, in a relationship, whatever, that were killed by their spouses, by the men they were saying in Nigeria. 133. I think I'll be starting with you this time, Mr. Adekunle Aliu. Gender-related issues looks like it's not going away anytime soon.
We are human beings. So we disagree to agree. It's how you solve this disagreement that matters. I don't see the agreement between spouses or between friends or relationship that could lead to the death of the wife and children. Because this report you're reading talk about even children being killed in that... It's wrong for us to lose life based on the fact that we are lovers and we're no longer lovers. We just walk away and separate. That's why there's divorce. That's why the law allows you to break a marriage and say, I'm no longer interested, and you sign. That's why the other religion will say, after I divorce, you can go. Because it wants a peaceful resolution of that relationship. So for this report, I was asking, is it increasing or decreasing? But even with that, 133 lives is no joke. In a country, it's wrong. I think the agencies, those working in those agencies that are supposed to work against this should do more so that we can reduce the numbers of this. So that people can understand, look, if you don't love me anymore, it doesn't mean that you kill me. It doesn't mean I should kill you. Arguments, anger. Some people need to go to check their angers or check their situation. When things happen like this, how do you drive back and calm down and solve this problem? It doesn't need to lead to death. So, and those who are involved too, I think the corporate should also be well policed so that they can serve as deterrents to others who don't want to agree. Because some people don't want to agree. Some people just feel like, you don't love me anymore, you cannot leave. I will have to destroy you. And it's wrong. I think the government needs to work well on this issue, and we can reduce it to the barest minimum. It happens all over the world, not only in Nigeria. You go to hear some stories in the UK or in the US, and you're like, is this humanity? But we shouldn't reduce humanity to nothing. We are supposed to help one another and build one another. That you like me today, I can wake up tomorrow and not like you tomorrow. Just let me go. Maybe when I go again, I will go, bros, I'm sorry, I like you now. I'll be fine. So we should just think about it and let's work to improve one another.
Okay. Between January and March 2024, about 12 women were said to have been killed. And in the month of April alone, 9. January to March, 12. The month of April alone, 9. What happened in the month of April? I'm just looking at it now because now, and on till we got to 133. Now, these are the ones that were even killed. We do not know the ones that they are being beaten on a daily. There was a report of a woman that said that whenever the team of her husband lost, her husband used to beat her every time.
So
and it became, used to punch her. And
she becomes a punching bag.
Till now, it's still something of a joke to some people on Twitter. Okay, it's no longer Twitter, it's now called X. And the question is, these are people that are dead. More were beaten. More were battered. More are still in that relationship or that marriage, being beaten at the moment. How can we educate? Because I think it needs education. How can we educate more people?
I like the word you use, educate. You see, this gender-based violence is a social malaise that we saw it coming. Because the moment we lose those factors that will help stop this problem, definitely it will happen. You go on a Sunday, you don't see anybody around. They are always in the church. Go to the church. What is the pastor telling them? Telling them things about how they will get money tomorrow. No. They don't talk about protection of marriage. Go to the schools. No moral instruction. Those days, there is moral instruction. Why not to get, how not to get violent. How you can solve your problem without hitting one another. I'm a married man, and I still have the record. I've been married since 2008, and I still have the record of not lifting a hand on my woman.
Wow.
You know, though the women will think you are weak. No, because I was there then when they were teaching us. Do not do this, do not do that. The church is almost not there. Go to any church. What they tell you is about financial breakthrough. They don't tell you how you will protect your marriage. This thing will continue if the church does not change. Because
so you think it's about
the church, the church, the schools, we don't have history. We don't have moral instruction again. Moral instruction is key so that when the boy is growing up, he will know that it is a very wrong thing. It is an abomination for a man to lift his hand and beat a woman. Women, talk less of killer.
How about women too, emotionally tormenting the men?
That is it.
Which is a major point.
So it's all about all of us as human beings to check ourselves. Argument should not lead to death.
Yes, it shouldn't.
Argument should not lead to kill. Once you can resolve this argument with Jojo, not kill one another.
Of course. So the only thing I've told you, church and school. School when you are growing up. Parents too, when your child is growing up. I've told my son, don't, when I watch her when he speaks with the younger ones who are females, don't ever lift your voice against them. It is, if you continue to do that, it shows you will beat your wife. Have you ever seen me beat your mom?
Whoa.
So like that, you can build a better society. A better society.
What do you support what you said? Any addition?
We need education. We need to begin to enlighten ourselves every day, because we are made differently, different idiosyncrasy, different character, and different upbringing. So, but when you teach yourself every day that look, this thing is not good. What does it profit you to be labeled a murderer? What does it profit you after have taken somebody's life? It doesn't give you anything. It doesn't change. It doesn't. So it's not worth it. Because you do the crime, you will do the time.
I'll have loved if these reports had, giving us more analysis about if some of the husbands or some of the men involved in these situations were prosecuted. But the report didn't see any of that. It was prepared by an organization. And what interested me was the fact that the data they used was not any data from just somewhere in the air. They used media reports. They used data, available data in the media, and that's a good one. On that note, we end this show for today, the very first edition of the Roundtable for the year 2025. Basically, we are just previewing what happened and looking in the year 2024 in our politics, in our policies, what the president has said in the finance, and what the CBN has done, and also looked at the gender aspect of it. God willing, will be here same time next week Thursday, looking at what has started already and what is likely to happen in the year 2025. A big thank you to Mr. Chukwudi Akasike for giving us his time here on the show, and of course to Mr. Adekunle Aliu as well.
Thank you,
the most important persons who have been here have been you, the viewer, because like I always say, without you on that end, there will actually be no need for us here on this end. With that, I say have a fantastic beginning to your 2025. Stay out of trouble. God bless you.